beautiful way.
Yeah, and because I know we talked about that a little bit before the show started about that one record that's kind of personal to you. A lot of times when we write those records, they for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we feel like we not supposed to put those records out, but a lot of times you gotta look at it too like that might be the enemy keeping you from. Because if you feel it a certain type of way and you put it out, and then everybody correlates that feeling,
Right.
that makes that song go.
Yeah, and
You know
that's
what
what
I mean?
that's what me and my friend Rambo, he also a local artist. I don't know if you met Rambo.
I haven't
Yeah.
had the pleasure yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, we could do that.
But that's what we kind of came to conclusion, like you gotta just work on it and write how you feeling when you feeling it and articulate it the right way. And I don't know, it just helps
What would you say? What would you say your style came from?
my style.
Cause to be honest with you, like I fuck with your style though. You know what I'm saying? Like your cadence and how you and the beat. And that's another thing too. A lot of artists really don't look at the beat selection. And like from the couple songs I heard from you, like I love your beat selection, and then how you do the cadence to the beats. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
I kind of just like I feel like I almost I almost know right away when I hear a beat start playing.
yeah.
Like the first song that I ever recorded was 2019. Me and my girl Sadie's. That's when Megan Thee Stallion was
She was
popping.
like on
It was Hot
top.
Girl
Okay.
Summer.
Yeah.
2019. It was Hot Girl
Yeah.
Summer. You feel
Yeah.
me? And we wrote some shit, real hot girl shit, and it was it was lit. And we were just, lit one night, drinking, hanging out, listening to instrumentals, and the instrumental was called Diamonds.
Okay.
And so I go off of that. I'm just like, all right,
Yeah.
it plays. I'm diamonds on my wrist, and they fucking dancing, looking like a bank, bringing all the bands in. And I'm like,
That's it.
My
You right,
homegirl
that's
was
it.
my homegirl was cleaning. And we wrote some shit, real hot girl shit, and it was it was lit. And we were just, lit one night, drinking, hanging out, listening to instrumentals, and the instrumental was called Diamonds.
Okay.
And so I go off of that. I'm just like, all right,
Yeah.
it plays. I'm diamonds on my wrist, and they fucking dancing, looking like a bank, bringing all the bands in. And I'm like,
That's it.
My
You right,
homegirl
that's it.
my homegirl was cleaning in the next. Hey, put that shit
come
down.
listen to this.
This the one.
Yeah.
We replayed that shit for a good like 30 minutes to an hour, and we got it down.
Yeah.
And it was raw how we did it. We like, we were going back and forth with each other, and like it was real hot girl shit. And everyone we showed it like, man, that's lit. Like that's right in the middle of what's everything going on. We thought about it, but we didn't take it too seriously. But I don't know. As of lately, like when we first released FTF4L, Fuck the Feds for Life.
Yeah.
Like when we recorded that and was getting it out and showing people in the reaction we got, like I think that's when for a lot of us, we were like, damn, we had to sit down. We could really, us as a unit,
Yeah.
and also having our individual stuff too, because we don't have like a group name. We're not necessarily a group, like we just.
Yo, I was saying that. I was saying that earlier today too. I was like, yo, if you really look at it, there's not that many female groups
Right.
out, and I think that goes
Yeah.
into what Anna and Tay was talking about. It's just the females don't really have that camaraderie to do that. But if
Yeah.
y'all did, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, it would be. I think that would be a big deal
Yeah,
because you
for
don't really
sure,
see
because
that no more.
You don't have to look at, I don't look at anybody as really like competition because I don't think I'm better than anybody.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm raw, but that don't mean that the next
can't
person's
be
not
raw.
raw
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
Shit, I'm raw, you raw. Shit, let's hop on some shit. We're gonna be extra raw. Like it's gonna
And
be
that's why
turned
you
up.
and Anna, y'all fuck with each other like that because y'all be on the
because,
same, on the same page.
Yeah, and it's fun when you can just kind of love being I love being in that setting, like just even before I really got in the studio. And I would be with other people in the studio. Just the whole like process of.
What is your process? Like, do you write your song first, or do you hear the beat first and then you write to the beat? Like, how does that work?
Have been as influential on the Western religions as that of Neoplatonism. Originating in late antiquity with figures like Plotinus, Porphyry, Iamblichus, and Proclus, it would come to play a decisive role in the theology and philosophy of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. In this episode, we're going to trace some of that influence, and in particular, look at the different ways in which Neoplatonism has manifested itself and been adapted to various degrees in the intellectual and mystical thought of Islam. A complex topic to be sure, but one that is very significant for a better understanding of the history of philosophy, religion, and mysticism in general.
Well,
it depends.
I recently wrote a song first and then found the beat, but usually I'll find a beat and then go off of that. And I've been working on getting better at like freestyling, coming up with stuff off the head. Like I've been trying to record when we're like just fucking around in the car, you know? Because that'd be the best times, you know, like when you just messing around and then you say something crazy and then it's gone. You forgot about it and you like, that would have been perfect, you know? So I usually, but I can write quickly though, you know, like I'll write, but quick, like the song that we just did last night, the Come Outside.
Yeah.
I had a verse written, but then it didn't really work how I wanted, flow how I wanted it to. So I wrote a whole nother verse. It was probably to me like 10, 15 minutes. It was a short little verse, you know, little song, you know, but you know, I'm getting better at being quicker, you know, but some of the more like personal songs like that, I find myself, you know, like spending time and then I might get stuck and she doing this on purpose because I wasn't here. That's crazy.
That's how it goes sometimes. But but she
funny.
came up, she had a little sip, so I don't know. You know, she feeling good right now. Wavy doing her thing.
She living her life.
Yeah, she living her life right now.
I don't even know what I was. She just would.
Hey, so these records, man, I'm ready to get into one of these, man. I want to hear what you're doing. I think everybody want to hear what you're doing.
Yeah, let's go. We can do it.
What we getting into first?
We can do Talk My Shit since this one is
you
preoccupied.
finna talk to her?
Yeah.
You finna talk to her from inside?
No, because we're going to do the other song together, but she busy.
All right. Y'all ready for Emma J? All right, let's go.
Can you?
Pull up at the club and you know we got our heats out. And we with the goons, so you know they got their heats out. All you bitches staring at my team, they be geeked out. Why you in my presence if you broke? You can leave now. Bitches be talking shit, but they ain't on nothing. I'ma pull your card every time, bitch, you know you bluffing. I'm the top bitch, ain't no room for no discussion. You said he wanna talk shit, but you ain't doing nothing. You said he wanna play, you caught me on the right day. All these bitches Facebook wanna file in my face. I ain't with that shit, y'all can keep that fake love. It's just me, my baby, and money. I don't put nothing above. I'ma run these bands up. And if I ever fucked with you, then you know just what it was. Bitch, I'm real. I don't give a fuck about how you feel. I popped a pill. And now I'm busting in this bitch and I ain't got no chill. He say I'm a snack. I said I'm really the whole meal. And I'm on a schedule. I ain't got no time to chill. I ain't got no
schedule. I ain't got no time to chill.
I ain't got no time for no lame hoe. Especially not no bitches that's on games. Oh, you steady wanna talk about what them bands bout. You know I be with them baddies with the bands out. You know you be with them beggars with your hands out. I'm talking Girl Scouts. Just to throw it in your face, he super ate my cake. Then the next day, you was crying at his place. I don't give a fuck. You can have his ass. You sounding like you going through it, like you down bad. So I'ma pass him back and keep counting my stacks. And you keep tweaking, saying, at least he know where home's at. Stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Emma J, eat a bag, one take.
One time for Emma J, man.
That one was.
One time for Emma J, man.
That one was a little diss track.
Yeah. It sound good.
It was
though.
to my ex. I was real mad one day,
Oh.
and I got lit. And I went in the house and I started talking shit like, fuck you, fuck out. Yeah.
Hey, but it made for a good record though. But that's where mostly good records come from. You know what I'm saying? When you got some shit on your chest, you gotta get it off.
The
You know
real
what I mean?
feeling. That's what it be. That's what it be. You gotta talk about all different type of stuff. You know, all that extra turning up is fun and cool. That's my vibe. I like that because I'm a fun person. I turn up.
That's how she feel right now,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. All right, so yeah, into the balance, man, of the music and the home life, like with the children. How does that? Is that like a big thing for you?
It's actually all different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but it made for a good record though. But that's where mostly good records come from. You know what I'm saying? When you got some shit on your chest, you gotta get it off.
The
You know
real
what I mean?
feeling. That's what it be. That's what it be. You gotta talk about all different type of stuff. You know, all that extra turning up is fun and cool. That's my vibe. I like that because I'm a fun person. I turn up.
That's how she feel right now,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. All right, so yeah, into the balance, man, of the music and the home life, like with the children. How does that? Is that like a big thing for you?
It's actually crazy because our kids seen us sitting in the room playing instrumentals on repeat, writing verses, and they turned around and went and did the same thing. My daughter, my friend just sent me a video. She snuck up on my daughter. She was in the room, and she just like, it's like a sad beat, you know. She's just like, I miss my daddy and he missed me too. I've been feeling sad, so I've been in the room, you know. And she just she off top with it, like she's not like writing something down, like she's just saying something, you know. So it's just crazy. Like she sees us being creative, and it like she's just like me. She'll do the same exact thing that I do. She goes in my notes, gets to typing whole lyrics. Like, and this is the beat that we're gonna do. The kids are just. We did "Fuck the Feds for Life," and they said they did a remix for their dad, because that song, you know, our baby dads, they're in federal prison right now, and so all their dads is in federal prison.
So
they can't really sing that song that much, you know. Like I said, we need to make a clean version so our babies can sing along. Okay. But they went ahead and did their own thing. They said, "Free our jail daddies, free our jail." It sounded crazy. It's ratchet, but man, it's like these babies is just they creative, and it's just.
Well, they get it from their moms, you know what I'm saying? They see what y'all doing, and you know what I'm saying? That's a blessing in itself, you know what I'm saying? To be able to have kids that see what you're doing and want to emulate it to the point to where something else can come from it. Like we was talking about, it's legacy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So who knows where you could go? And a lot of times, sometimes we don't even look at it like that. It might not be for us. It might be for our kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and she seen like her dad does music too, you know, so I do music, you know, her dad, most of her dad's cousins do music too, you know, so like she sees a lot of people. We listen to music every day in the car, all type of music, you know, like she knows country music. She goes to my mom's house. She knows she did karaoke to Take Me Home Country Roads.
Oh, yeah?
And she got 100%. She got every single word right.
Okay.
So, you know, she just.
So you think that's something she would be interested in pursuing and getting into?
I try to ask her and influence her, like, is that something you want? No, I don't want to. Well, do you want to do this? You know, like, I think, man, everyone's like, why does she not have a YouTube channel? And I'm like, because low key, she would have to run that because she knows way more about it. She knows she's creating
That's this
TikTok.
generation,
She's cutting the videos. She's making the filters, the effects. She's showing me, no, mom, you need to do this. You know, like,
Oh yeah, she's got
8
it.
years
then.
old. I'm like,
She got it.
jeez.
Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was talking about something, man. Actually, me and he was talking about doing something like that for the kids, man. Showing them like the whole setup, like as far as production and you know hosting and performing. So,
They love that.
Yeah, that might be something we could tap into, bro.
Yeah, they've been in the studio before, you know.
Do it like a sky's the limit video, like all the kids just be up here doing their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Me.
Like, we working on it. We working on it.
Security, no.
So what's your thing with the music? What we plan on going with it? What's the
I don't know. I be
lingo.
torn. I be having my days where like, I be like, I mean, shit, I could put some effort into it, you know, but I still kind of like, I don't want to say like I'm all the way, like I'm not working every day on my music or like, you know, like I'm going along with it. I'm seeing where it's going. Like I'm interested in it. I be just kind of back and forth. I'll have moments when I'm like, man, we can do this. All until like with the FTF, I'm like, man, this is the one. Like this is the one that if after this hit, we don't even need to make no more good songs.
I feel like
these days, all you need is one hit and you good.
And I feel like 80% of women, you know what I'm saying, in that demographic, they're gonna fuck with it because they can relate to it.
Yes, and I've also heard from a lot of my male friends who have been incarcerated. You know, also played it for our baby daddies who we wrote the song for that is incarcerated. We ain't never heard no song. You know, you just heard Sexy Red talking about fuck my baby daddy, fuck my baby daddy. Yeah. And we over here talking about free them baby daddies because for real, freedom baby daddies for real. Like these kids needs their dads out here, and that's the feds is fucked up. It's not a good place. The jail system, like don't nobody deserve to go through that. The men, the women, the children, like that shit is crazy. So.
Well, I commend you on keeping it together, man, and holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not an easy thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And for this to be an all-lady show, I want to say that too because I feel like the three of y'all have been through that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big shout out to y'all for holding the family down while, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit is a task. They don't be understanding sometimes. You know, it's easy to be locked up. You know, my baby daddy. How you don't have no money? If I was out there, boy, you ain't been out in how many years? You don't even know what it's like now.
Yeah,
like
it's different. It's different.
Everything is expensive. I got bills like this. You know, it's like.
But that's the catch-22 in it too, though. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we be put in that situation where we have to do things we don't want to do in order to, like, you know what I'm saying, just make shit work. So. Yeah. When that does happen, and unfortunately, people got to go sit down for a while, and it falls back on y'all. But again, y'all the backbone of that shit. Yeah,
you ain't got no option, you know, and that's the only shit only thing that will keep somebody pushing. You know, like I got this baby, you know, that's here looking up to me, watching me, everything I'm doing. So you know, it's like. That's what we always say. Like, we always, like, me and all the girls, we live together. All our kids live together. Like, we got kids on kids. I'm talking about, I'm sorry, you can't get in. We got 3 car seats in the back. You know, come to the window. You know, like, we do shit with the kids. Like, we like to do family shit. Let's go to Kingpin, Space Aliens. You know, and then we're going to drop that little ass off and we're going to go outside. No. But at the end of the day, the babies, you know, like, and the fact, you know, our kids, me and our kids is blood related, like real blood related. So it's important to their dads to keep that bond too, you know, so they can be connected to both sides of their family. And they're not here to do that. So, you know, it's up to us to do all of that.
when we had that conversation, I kind of asked Ann about that. I was like, yo, what's up with you and Emma? Because I thought kind of y'all would make like a good little duo.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much are for real. We just ain't come up with no good name. I ain't even gonna say it. No, we not.
Yeah.
Edit that out. You know?
Cut that, right? Yeah.
That's her, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's something we can sit down and,
We
you
trying
know,
to come up with some,
right?
because we are, you know, like, and just like how, you know, the Migos, they were the Migos, and then they also had their own stuff. We can come together and do things together and also have separate tracks that is just us, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with this
We
next
became
record,
this
you want her to come up here and do that with you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, she been, you know.
Absolutely. She gonna be wild. Or do I want her to? You want to?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right.
You know she
That
down.
Henny in your
Yeah.
cup, let me get some.
Hell yeah. All right, y'all ready for another one from Emma, man? Emma J.
Emma J.
Featuring Wavy.
Peter Bay. Okay. Okay, I'm reloaded.
Chris.
Alright, hold on. Look.
Fuck the feds since them bitches took my baby dad. They ripped up my whole family, left my daughter feeling sad. Now I gotta get it together, gotta get back to the bag. But no matter what I do, I know that I could never go back. Back to the bullshit, to the negative, consuming, taking over my whole day. Fucking up what I'm doing, even though he was out here wildin'. I know it's him did the shooting. I still need him for my daughter, now I gotta fill those shoes in. Baby daddy need me, and I know that shit ain't easy. Every day up in the pen, got a strong man. Got denied for the visit, I can't see him, that shit kill me. But it's free, Esha'An, that shit in me, it's not on me.
Screaming, fuck the feds, y'all the ops, y'all the enemy. Why y'all had to take my love like that? Y'all the enemy. I'ma come for him, cause he my motherfucking family. Another family child in this world full of frenemies. Now he out here shooting all the ops, cause he's scared of these. Out here in the world all alone, cause his mama died. They took her heart, she in pain, she was never right. Now he out here thinking how to fix it, how to make it right. He out here screaming, fuck the feds for life. Yeah,
Fuck the feds for life. What we say, y'all? Fuck the feds for life. Hey, fuck the feds, free the guys and free my baby daddy. Looking at my baby girl, I know they can't be happy. I know they miss their daddy. Got me about to spaz out. Saying bitches, I know bitches crash out. And they catch a cops. What's that? Freedom baby daddies, freedom baby daddies. Hey, freedom baby daddies, freedom baby daddies. Fuck the feds for life. Free our baby dad, man, that shit ain't right. Fuck the feds for life. Free our baby dads, man, that shit ain't right. Fuck all them snitching ass bitches too. Everybody on them motherfucking indictments, fuck y'all too. Alright. Daddy's freedom, baby daddies. Hey, freedom, baby daddies, freedom, baby daddies. Fuck the feds for life. Free our baby dad, man, that shit ain't right. Fuck the feds for life. Free our baby dads, man, that shit ain't right. Fuck all them snitching ass bitches too. Everybody on them motherfucking indictments, fuck y'all too.
Hey, one time for Emma J and Wavy, man. How y'all feel about that? Hey, one time for Emma J and Wavy, man. How y'all feel about that one? Hey, one time for Emma. Hey, one time for Emma J and Wavy, man. How y'all feel about that one?
Yo.
I like that record, man. Y'all snapping for real, okay.
Man, that was a one. Like when we did that one, we felt like it was just like everyone we showed it to was like,
Yeah.
with my cousin who's in the feds in like Texas or some shit. I'm cuz, make sure everyone in the feds hear that bitch, cuz I want that shit flooded. Make sure play that shit for everybody. I need y'all bumping it.
Nah, man, it's a dope record, man. I like that. But like I said, I like your vibe, man. I like all your music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to switch it up a little bit. You know, I got a few different songs that I've been working on. I have a little more sensual vibe that I've got going on that I'm working. I got a real, like, it's called Spilling My Truth. So it's really, one part I said, I told you I'll spill my truth and be for real, so here it goes. You know, so it was some real shit. It was written in one of them moments, you know. I'm
interested.
Yeah.
I'm ready for you to drop some stuff, man. I'm waiting on it.
Yeah, man. I need to get in the studio more. I be just working. I've been having time to myself, so I might work on different songs here and there. Like something might pop up in my head. Like I'll just be riding. I was riding in the car one day. I was like, think I'm just too real for these bitches. I'm like, damn, you know, like
jot it down.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah,
what I say? You can feed off of that, like, you know, like something like that. It's just like I don't know. And I like to take pointers from other artists. You know, there's ways that I can improve in different things. I like to see how people do things in the studio. You know, different vocabulary. I'm trying to expand my vocabulary, make sure I'm not just saying, you know, the same words, turning up basic stuff every, you know, I just try to build in all of those ways.
Hey, anything I could do to help out, man, you know, show love, show support, let me know. You know what I'm saying? We on the social, so, you know, if it's ever a single you got coming out, you know what I'm saying, artwork, whatever like that, man, we could get it popping.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I'm saying? I definitely got your back on that. Appreciate you for coming out.
Yes, thank you.
Y'all, can we get it one time for Emma J? Yeah. So basically, man, what it is that's what we do here is Unplugged at Parachicos. Miss Royalty, Emma J, Wavy, I appreciate y'all for being a part of Lady Nights.
Okay.
Big Wave. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for coming out and you know what I'm saying? This was a good one. It was a special one because it was all ladies and it was all love.
It's always a good time.
So y'all can follow Parachicos online at Parachicos, that's PARACHIGO. Unplugged at Parachicos, unquestionable.com, Shuttleman Flight. These are all things that you could do. As far as the other artists, I guess when we post, we'll tag everybody so you can follow the social medias and get that up. Again, Emma J, appreciate you for coming, man. It was good sitting down talking to you. Finally.
Thank you for having me.
So I can tell GMC we had that conversation.
I was late. I had to call though.
Nah, man, but you here though, and we appreciate that.
Can we do outside one more time?
You want to do outside one more time? Parachicos, is that okay?
Can we do it one more time?
Y'all want to hear it one more time?
Can we do it one more time?
Outside one more time?
One more time. That's the new one.
That's the new one? right, we gonna
got
run
my
it one
phone?
more time.
You got my phone?
Side one more time.
One more time. That's the new one.
Y'all want to hear one more
Can
time?
we do it one more time?
Outside one more time.
One more time.
Hey, bring your baddest.
Can we do it one more time?
Outside one more time.
One more time.
Hey, bring your baddest bitch out and come outside. We ain't gonna beat that bitch up, don't worry. Hey, bring your baddest bitch out and come outside. Hey, bring your baddest bitch out and come outside. We ain't gonna beat that bitch up, don't worry. We just trying to see the baddest bitch. Hey, bring your baddest bitch out and come outside. We ain't gonna beat that bitch up, don't worry. We just trying to see the baddest bitch.
He buy me what I want until that car get tapped. I think I'm going through it, I've been feeling too numb. Every day some new shit, so I'm just here for fun.
Low body count, I don't fuck just anybody.
Freak hoe real raw,
Make him sweat in the lobby.
talk nasty, ride crazy.
Got him losing his breath. Once I give it up once, he addicted like meth.
Pretty face, mean talk, yeah I stun when I slide. Ass clapping on the beat,
Yeah, lost in his vibe.
I'm the truth, I'm the one. Yeah they know I'm legit. All these
Got him lost in his vibe. Yeah, lost in his vibe.
I'm the truth, I'm the one. Yeah they know I'm legit. Talk, yeah I stun when I slide. Ass clapping on the beat,
Yeah, lost in his vibe.
I'm the truth, I'm the one. Yeah, they know I'm legit. All these hoes playing game,
But I'll really run this shit outside loud.
throwing racks, let it bounce. He ain't never had a freak like this in his house. Low count, high class, but I still talk slick. Bad bitch from the hood.
But I'll really run this shit. That don't know how to act. He buy me what I want until that car get tapped. I've been feeling too numb. Every day some new shit, so I'm just here for fun. Hey, bring your bad bitch out. Hey, I'ma bring my baddest bitch out. Hold on, let me bring her out real quick. Hey, bring my baddest bitch out.
I'm the baddest bitch out now. I'm after my shit. And you don't be getting lit. Just brother down to the splits. If he rich, we don't care about. Then you must be down bad. But fuck it, we gon' turn up because we got that bag.
This bitch, I know the whole club lit. Yo, ho, popped up, but she ain't on shit. Pretty fake, thick waist. Yeah, we outside too. Throw them racks in the air, now the whole floor blue. Big wave in the section, yeah, we making it rain. Cold water in my cup, I ain't feeling no pain. Ass shaking, chain swinging, all eyes on me. Bougie ghetto when we step.
You should've left him at home.
Outside with a rich nigga that don't know how to act. He buy me what I want until that car gets tapped. I think I'm going through it, I've been feeling too numb. Every day some new shit, so I'm just here for fun. Damn, I think I'm going through this time. Damn, I'm just here for fun though, so it's okay. Fuck it. Let me see your baddest bitch turn up. Hey, 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 hey. I don't know how the footwork. Let me stop.
Acting real bad. Okay, that's a wrap.
Thank you everybody for coming out.
Okay, that's a wrap.
Thank you everybody for coming out, man. I hope y'all had a good time. One more time for the ladies, please. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for coming.
The baddest bitches out.
Yeah. Hey, hold on.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
gotta put on a beat before anything.
No, you don't.
Let's freestyle.
You already know it.
All right. We queued up on Floss and E.
You already know it.
All right.
Hey.
You know, I just
For coming out.
yes, thank
Y'all,
you for
can we get it
having.
one? Definitely got your back on that. Appreciate you for coming. You got coming out. You know what I'm saying? Artwork, whatever like that, man. What it is that's what we do here is unplug the Parachicos. Miss Royalty, Emma J, Wavy. I appreciate y'all for being a part of Lady Nights.
Okay.
Big Wave. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for coming out and you know what I'm saying? This was a good one. It was a special one because it was
It's
all ladies and it was all love.
It's always a good time.
So y'all can follow Parachicos online at Parachicos, that's Parachigo. Unplug at Parachicos. Unquestionable. Unquestionable.com. Shuttleman Flight. These are all things that you could do. As far as the other artists, I guess when we thank everybody for coming. The all ladies edition of Unplugged at Parachicos. Basically, what we do is give independent artists a space, share their journey. You know, the all ladies edition of Unplugged at Parachicos. Basically, what we do is give independent artists a space, share their journey, you know what I'm saying? Talk about music, talk about what's going on. So again, thank you Parachicos and everybody that comes out to support. Shout out Parachicos for hosting. Always got to start off with that. Love the venue, love the people at the venue. If you're ever looking to do something as far as artistically, creatively, tap in with Parachicos, they'll get you right. Shout out to unquestionable.com. You know, they do the production, everything. My man Esha'An, one man gang, he set up the whole set. So we basically just came together, man. We got some plugs out in GA out in Florida as far as music promotion for any artist that's in the building, whether you do music, you know what I'm saying, or not. We get you hooked up with radio play. We tell you about BMI, how to register music, how to get your music spun so you can get paid off your royalties. And with that being said, welcome to Unplugged, man. I'm your host, Flight, and we sitting here with Wavy tonight. Wavy.
Big Wave, Wavy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay. You brought him out tonight. So what's been going on with you? How's everything? Yeah.
Other than rentals.
Paid off your royalties. The all all ladies edition of Unplugged at Parachico's. Basically what we do is give independent artists a space, share their journey, you know what I'm saying? Talk about music, talk about what's going on. So again, thank you Parachico's and everybody that comes out to support. Shout out Parachico's for hosting. Always got to start off with that. Love the venue, love the people at the venue. If you're ever looking to do something as far as artistically, creatively, tap in with Parachico's. They'll get you right. Shout out to unquestionable.com.
Once again, I am so honored and happy to say that this is part of a major, massive collaboration with my friends and colleagues here on YouTube. I'm doing this collaboration on Neoplatonism together with Zevi from Seekers of Unity, Justin from Esoterica, Angela Puka from Angela Symposium, Dana Trell from The Modern Hermeticist, and John Vervaeke. We're all making separate episodes covering the relationship of Neoplatonism to different intellectual, religious, and spiritual and even scientific traditions and schools of thought throughout history and today. So be sure to check out all the other videos by the other people. I will leave links to those videos in the description. You'll find videos about the relationship of Neoplatonism to Kabbalah, and Gnosticism, magic and theurgy, the Platonist philosopher's creed, and even cognitive science. It's really amazing stuff. So be sure to follow those links and check out all those other channels. Neoplatonism is truly a massively important topic, overlooked as it has often been in earlier philosophical scholarship. It is a philosophical tradition that is deep and complex enough in itself, and we have dedicated a separate episode to exploring and trying to understand the general ideas of Neoplatonism, which you should definitely consult before watching this episode. It will provide some essential background knowledge that is needed to appreciate our discussion here today fully. But as a very short summary, Neoplatonism, sometimes called late Platonism, is a late antique development within the school of Platonism, primarily associated with figures like Plotinus. It conceives of existence as consisting of different levels or realities, hypostases in Greek, beginning with the highest reality called the One, or Tohen, a concept that cannot be understood or described in any way, being hidden in a radical apophatic darkness. This One then emanates or flows over into something called the nous, often translated with words like intellect or mind, which is the archetype of all things in the world and the place of the Platonic forms. Nous then also emanates into the so-called soul or psyche, which in turn creates the world of nature or our physical universe of time and space. The Neoplatonists then conceive of a return back from the physical, up the ladder of reality, back to the nous and eventually to the One. So everything flows from the One and returns to the One. And the goal of the human being is to turn away from physicality and the material, traveling inward and contemplating his true noetic reality, thus returning to her home in the nous and there experiencing a mystical unity with that nous and even maybe ultimately with the One itself. There is a lot more to these ideas, of course, and I highly, again, suggest you go watch my previous episode, which covers the thought of Neoplatonism more generally. But for sure, these ideas in their different forms and different interpretations have been massively influential on the Abrahamic religions, influencing their theology and the category that we often call mysticism in general. And Islam is no different. When we look at the intellectual history of Islam, from the Falsafa tradition of Ibn Sina and others to the Kalam theologians and Sufi mystics, aspects of Neoplatonism can be found everywhere. This is truly a fascinating topic, but also a complicated and very vast one. There is so much to explore when it comes to Neoplatonism in Islamic thought that there is no way of doing it justice in a single episode unless we want to be here all week. So our goal today is to give a more general overview of this landscape, touching on some examples and trying to understand the way that these Muslim thinkers conceived of the relationship between these two traditions. So where does this story begin? Well, basically at the very beginning. In the earliest years of the Islamic religion and its civilization, Muslims had access to these ideas. During the height of the Abbasid Caliphate in the 9th to 10th century, and during the so-called translation movement, texts from all around the world were translated into Arabic and studied by the Muslim and non-Muslim philosophers and theologians. Many of these translated texts were obviously Greek, and the ancient Greek philosophers like Plato and Aristotle had a high standing and reputation in this context. There was a general attitude that any knowledge or wisdom was good as long as it didn't contradict Islamic teachings, and a common opinion was that these old philosophers basically believed and taught the same thing as Islam, albeit imperfectly. So when we read the early Islamic philosophers like Al-Kindi, Al-Farabi, and Ibn Sina, we see them argue that these same truths can be found in philosophy as in the Quran, only expressed in different languages, both in symbolic terms and literally. A few of these translated texts became especially influential on the trajectory of the Islamic intellectual tradition. In particular, there was a text called the Theology of Aristotle, the Orthologia Aristotales, which became perhaps the most widespread and popular source for philosophical teachings. As the name suggests, the text was thought to have been written by Aristotle, who, for much of the medieval period, was seen as the philosopher par excellence. Indeed, he was often simply called the philosopher. But Plato and others were also seen as important, of course, and in fact, the Muslim thinkers did not believe that there was any major discrepancy or difference between the teachings of Plato and Aristotle, but that they represented a single tradition of philosophical truth. So when these texts, like the Theology of Aristotle, appear to have ideas that we would recognize as significantly more Platonist in nature, that wasn't strange at all for them. But in fact, as it would become clear much later, the Theology of Aristotle was not a work by Aristotle at all. Instead, it is an Arabic translation, or in kind of a paraphrasing semi-copy, of the Enneads by Plotinus, the figure who is often seen as the founder of Neoplatonism. In particular, it was a translation or paraphrase of Enneads 4 through 6. So while the Muslim thinkers thought that they were reading the ideas of Aristotle, and they would indeed adopt actual Aristotelian teachings in terms of logic and natural science through other actually authentic works, they were actually reading and adapting ideas from Neoplatonism. And this becomes a decisive thing for the whole history of Islamic thought, which became infused with Neoplatonic influence. Just to drive this point home even more, another key text in this early context was another semi-translation called Kalam fi Mahd al-Khair, Discourse on the Pure Good, known later in Latin translation as the Liber de Causis. This text was also attributed to Aristotle for much of the Middle Ages, but as it turns out, it was actually a modified translation of the Elements of Theology by Proclus, another central Neoplatonic thinker. So as you can see, the Islamic scholars were introduced to key Neoplatonic ideas and text, even if they didn't realize it themselves. But after all, this is all just semantics in the end, because regardless if this was Neoplatonic or Aristotelian ideas, the Islamic scholars saw in these ideas a kindred tradition to that of Islam, that the same truths were expressed in these texts as in the Quran, only in a different way. And as we'll see soon, you can kind of see why. So now we have a general understanding that Muslim scholars of various kinds were introduced to Neoplatonic ideas through these different translated texts, and that there was often, although not always of course, a general open attitude towards these ideas that were often seen as being in harmony with Islam and that they could actually complement that religion. So how does this show itself, or how does this manifest itself across history in Islamic thought of various kinds? Well, like I said, the Islamic thinkers saw in the Quran many indications that it was expressing the same truth as that of philosophy. In verses like, quote, "Surely we belong to God, and to him we return," and, quote, "As he originated you, so you will return." The meaning of these verses, of everything originating from God and eventually returning back to God, sounds very Neoplatonic, don't they? Everything originates from the One and returns to the One. This is one of the core characteristics of the philosophy. Furthermore, the concept of the One and the strictly transcendent monotheistic God of Islam seems to basically be pointing to the same thing. Indeed, one of the names of God in Islam is literally Al-Wahid, the One. In any case, the Islamic thinkers saw these similarities and ran with them. This was clearly the same truth expressed in two different ways, and we find this in different schools and movements in Islamic history. The least surprising place to find Neoplatonic influence is perhaps in the Falsafa tradition, that group of philosophers that very openly were reading and building on ideas of their Greek predecessors. In other words, thinkers like Al-Kindi, Al-Farabi, and Ibn Sina adopted the ideas and language of Neoplatonism to a major degree in their philosophical exposition of the Islamic religion and beyond. While Plotinus himself oscillated between using the word God to refer to the nous sometimes and the One other times, the Islamic thinkers would basically exclusively identify God, Allah, with the concept of the One, the utterly transcendent simplicity beyond description and understanding, which originates all other realities. This originating, or creation, especially in thinkers like Al-Farabi and Ibn Sina, often take the form of emanation as a key feature. The One, or God, emanates or flows over into that which is other than him, in other words, creation. God is perfect, and that perfection necessitates that he creates the universe through an overflow and emanation from his eternal light. They also then theorize that the first thing that God creates is the first intellect, followed by a bunch of other intellects, often identified with the planetary spheres of Ptolemaic astronomy. So as you can tell, here we have some of the most basic characteristics of Neoplatonism used to complement and explain Islam's conception of God creating the world. To dive a little deeper into this, let's look at one particular figure, probably the most famous, influential, and significant philosopher in Islamic history, Ibn Sina, also known under his Latin name Avicenna. In most of his philosophical work, including the massive Ash-Shifa, the healing, the fascinating Al-Isharat wal-Tanbihat, remarks and admonitions, and even short treatises like the Risalat fil Ishq, the treatise on love, he shows his clear debt to Neoplatonic language and metaphysics. Famously, Ibn Sina defined God as the necessary being or necessary existent, al-wajib al-wujud. The only existent in reality that is necessary, the only being that has to be by its very nature, and whose essence is existence itself. He has a whole famous argument for the existence of God in which he comes to this conclusion, which we should probably discuss properly in a separate episode. In any case, God is necessary in himself and the causal factor behind all other existence, who are contingent rather than necessary. They exist, but they might as well not exist. So they don't have to exist, but they always have a cause, so to say. In any case, we find similarities in Ibn Sina's God, or necessary being, both with the Neoplatonic One, but also with Aristotle's prime mover. He, along with his colleagues, didn't just copy the ideas of the Greeks, as many have wrongly claimed. As I hope you will see, the Islamic thinkers built and developed those ideas further in fascinating ways, partly as a result of the fact that they based their interpretations on the Quran and Islamic, the basic teachings of Islam. So many people often claim that, well, the Muslim thinkers, they simply copied the Greeks. This is not true. The Muslim thinkers were very original. They took, of course, huge inspiration from many of the Greek philosophers, but they built upon those and innovated on those ideas to a major degree, which, again, I hope you'll see in some of these thinkers that we'll be talking about today. For example, Ibn Sina's necessary being is in many ways similar to the Platonian one, but in other ways it differs. While Plotinus would say that the one is beyond things like being or existence and knowledge, Ibn Sina's God is that reality which has those attributes per definition. He writes in a work called the Danish Nama, quote, "It has become evident, therefore, that there is a primary entity in the world which is not in the world, though the being of the world comes from it. Its existence, which is necessary, is due to itself. In reality, it is absolute existence. All things exist due to it in the same manner as the light of the sun is due to itself, whereas the illumination all other things receive from the sun is accidental. This analogy would have been correct if the sun were the basis of its own illumination. This is not the case because the illumination of the sun has a subject, whereas the being of the necessary existent has not subject but stands by itself. God has existence. He isn't beyond existence, but absolute existence itself, from which all other existence derives. Now, you could argue that this is just a semantic difference and that Plotinus meant a similar thing when he said that the one is beyond existence, but the difference is definitely there on the page at least. And as we go down the chain of being, we see that he, like we said before, adopts the idea of emanation from the first principle or necessary existent through the mediation of intellect to the material world, as well as the possibility of an ascent or return back up that ladder. According to Ibn Sina, from one there can only appear one, and so the first thing that originates or emanates from God is the numerically singular first intellect, which is called in Arabic the aql, the intellect, or literally the aql al-awwal, the first intellect. Now this is of course very similar to the position of the nous, translated as intellect, in Plotinus as well. Unlike God himself, this one intellect has a kind of multiplicity in it though, as it contemplates both itself and its source, God. So this leads to the fact that it creates another, second intellect, as well as the body and the form of a celestial sphere. In Ibn Sina's system, there follows 9 intellects in the descending order from the first intellect, all associated with a particular planetary sphere and sometimes also identified with the angels of religious language. At the bottom, we reach the 10th intellect, also called the active intellect, which rules over and emanates the sublunary material.
This is Audible.
Blackstone Publishing presents The Essential Rumi, New Expanded Edition, by Rumi, translated by Coleman Barks, with Reynold Nicholson, A.J. Arbery, and John Moyne. This book is read by Robertson Dean. Dedication. For the compassionate heart within the mind, the light within the body, for the sun. Shams of Tabriz and Bawa Muhayyaddin. Introduction to the new edition. I am very grateful for the response this book has had since its publication in 1995, and for the opportunity to add a gift of 81 new, never published anywhere poems to this reissue of The Essential Rumi. I don't tire of working on Rumi's poetry. It keeps unfolding its wisdom as I grow more open to what is given. We cannot say much about love at first sight. It happens, and we live in the wake of a new life. Dante and Beatrice, Rumi and Shams. It's a different level of soul connecting, of course, but I have wondered why, on first looking into Arbery's Rumi, I felt such an opening of my heart, a sense of reckless longing, an expansion of my sense of what's possible in a poem and in a life. Carl Jung would say that I encountered a form, or an expression, of my anima. 28 years afterward, I would claim that I felt the wild presence of Shams. Rumi acknowledges Shams as the source of the big red book of ghazals, odes, and rubai, quatrains, he calls the works of Shams of Tabriz. Some refer to it simply as the Shams. Part of the love mystery explored in Rumi's poetry is how presences flow together, evolve, and create in tandem. The heart is a river, and I felt the motion of it in their friendship. Rumi's ghazals intend to restore the conversation they engaged in. In their grief and joy, the poems do that, even at this distance and even after having endured the indignity and betrayal of translation. Whatever the attraction was in 1976, it was not scholarly curiosity. His poems have never been for me, or for most readers, museum curios from the 13th century. They are food and drink, nourishment for the part that is hungry for what they give. Call it soul. I used to be uncomfortable using words like soul and heart, and I still am. They seem imprecise, loaded with churchy schmaltz and ministerial ease, to say nothing of their dilution in popular culture. But now I feel like I can say so little about anything that I may as well flail about with stage.
Introduction. The Quran is the supreme authority in Islam. It is the fundamental and paramount source of the creed, rituals, ethics, and laws of the Islamic religion. It is the book that differentiates between right and wrong. So that nowadays, when the Muslim world is dealing with such universal issues as globalization, the environment, combating terrorism and drugs, issues of medical ethics and feminism, evidence to support the various arguments is sought in the Quran. This supreme status stems from the belief that the Quran is the word of God, revealed to the Prophet Muhammad via the Archangel Gabriel, and intended for all times and all places. The Quran was the starting point for all the Islamic sciences. Arabic grammar was developed to serve the Quran. The study of Arabic phonetics was pursued in order to determine the exact pronunciation of Quranic words. The science of Arabic rhetoric was developed in order to describe the features of the inimitable style of the Quran. The art of Arabic calligraphy was cultivated through the writing down of the Quran. The Quran is the basis of Islamic law and theology. Indeed, as the celebrated 15th century scholar and author Suyuti said, everything is based on the Quran. The entire religious life of the Muslim world is built around the text of the Quran. As a consequence of the Quran, the Arabic language moved far beyond the Arabian Peninsula, deeply penetrating many other languages within the Muslim lands: Persian, Turkish, Urdu, Indonesian, and others. The first surah or section of the Quran, Al-Fatiha, which is an essential part of the ritual prayers, is learned and read in Arabic by Muslims in all parts of the world, and many other verses and phrases in Arabic are also incorporated into the lives of non-Arabic speaking Muslims. Muslim children start to learn portions of the Quran by heart in their normal schooling. The tradition of learning the entire Quran by heart started during the lifetime of the Prophet, and continues to the present day. A person attaining this distinction becomes known as a Hafiz, and this is still a prerequisite for admission to certain religious schools in Muslim countries. Nowadays, the Quran is recited a number of times daily on the radio and television in the Muslim world, and some Muslim countries devote a broadcasting channel for long hours daily exclusively to the recitation and study of the Quran. Muslims swear on the Quran for solemn oaths in the law courts and in everyday life. The life of Muhammad and the historical background. Muhammad was born in Mecca in about the year 570 CE. The religion of most people in Mecca and Arabia at the beginning of Muhammad's lifetime was polytheism. Christianity was found in places, notably in Yemen, and among the Arab tribes in the north under Byzantine rule. Judaism too was practiced in Yemen, and in and around Yathrib, later renamed Medina. But the vast majority of the population of Arabia were polytheists. They believed in a chief god, Allah, but saw other deities as mediators between them and him. The Quran mentions in particular the worship of idols, angels, the sun, and the moon as lesser gods. The Hajj pilgrimage to the Kaaba in Mecca, built, the Quran tells us, by Abraham for the worship of the one God, was practiced, but that too had become corrupted with polytheism. Mecca was thus an important center for religion and for trade, with the caravans that traveled via Mecca between Yemen in the south and Syria in the north, providing an important source of income. There was no central government. The harsh desert conditions brought competition for scarce resources and enforced solidarity within each tribe. But there was frequent fighting between tribes. Injustices were practiced against the weaker classes, particularly women, children, slaves, and the poor. Few hard facts are known about Muhammad's childhood. It is known that his father, Abdullah, died before he was born, and his mother, Amina, when he was 6 years old. That his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, then looked after him until 2 years later he too died. At the age of 8, Muhammad entered the guardianship of his uncle Abu Talib, who took him on a trade journey to the north when he was 12 years old. In his 20s, Muhammad was employed as a trader by a wealthy and well-respected widow, 15 years his senior, named Khadija. Impressed by his honesty and good character, she proposed marriage to him. They were married for over 25 years, until Khadija's death when Muhammad was some 49 years old. Khadija was a great support to her husband. After his marriage, Muhammad lived in Mecca, where he was a respected businessman and peacemaker. Muhammad was in the habit of taking regular periods of retreat and reflection in the cave of Hira outside Mecca. This is where the first revelation of the Quran came to him in 610 CE, when he was 40 years old. This initiated his prophethood. The prophet was instructed to spread the teachings of the revelations he received to his larger family and beyond. However, although a few believed in him, the majority, especially the powerful, resented his calling them to abandon their gods. After all, many polytheist tribes came to Mecca on the pilgrimage, and the leaders feared that the new religion would threaten their own prestige and economic prosperity. They also felt it would disturb the social order, as it was quite outspoken in its preaching of equality between all people and its condemnation of the injustices done to the weaker members of the society. The hostility of the Meccans soon graduated from gentle ridicule to open conflict and the persecution of the Prophet's followers, many of whom the Prophet sent from the 5th year of his preaching to seek refuge with the Christian king of Abyssinia, Ethiopia. The remaining Muslims continued to be pressurized by the Meccans, who instituted a total boycott against the Prophet's clan, refusing to allow any social or economic dealings with them. In the middle of this hardship, the Prophet's wife Khadija and his uncle Abu Talib died, so deprived